Her death was coming, and with all her will she pumped against it, and in a final burst of denial I pushed her away from me and held her still. I was almost swooning. The thirst wanted her heart. It was no alchemist, the thirst. And I was standing there with my lips parted and my eyes glazed, and I held her far, far away from me, as if I were two beings, the one wanting to crush her and the other to bring her to me. Her eyes were open and seemingly blind. For a moment she was in some place beyond all suffering, where there was nothing but sweetness, and even something that might be understanding. But then I heard her calling to me by name. I lifted my right wrist to my mouth and slashed the vein and pushed it against her lips. She didn't move as the blood spilled over her tongue. "Mother, drink!" I said frantically, and pushed it harder. But some change had already commenced. Her lips quivered, and her mouth locked to me, and the pain whipped through me suddenly, encircling my heart. Her body lengthened, tensed, her left hand rising to grasp my wrist as she swallowed the first spurt. And the pain grew stronger and stronger, so that I almost cried out. I could see it as if it were molten metal coursing through my vessels, branching through every sinew and limb. Yet it was only her pulling, her sucking, her taking the blood out of me that I had taken from her. She was standing now on her own feet, her head barely leaning against my chest. And a numbness crept over me with the pulling, burning through the numbness, and my heart thundered against it, feeding the pain as it fed her pulling with every beat. Harder and harder she drew, and faster, and I felt her grip tighten and her body grow hard. I wanted to force her away, but I would not do it, and when my legs gave under me, it was she who held me up. I was swaying, and the room was tilting, but she went on with it, and a vast silence stretched out in all directions from me. And then, without will or conviction, I thrust her backwards away. She stumbled and stood before the window, her long fingers pressed flat against her open mouth. And before I turned and collapsed into the nearby chair, I looked full at her white face for an instant, and her form, swelling, it seemed, under the thin peeling of dark blue taffeta, her eyes like two crystal orbs gathering the light. I think I said, "Mother," in that instant like some stupid mortal, and I closed my eyes.